So welcome to Ego, the skill provider. And what basically we're looking for to give you a momentum to speak English fluently, confidently, facilely. Okay. So before that, look, if you want to speak English, you have the ability to frame a sentence, and that's called structures, right? And that's perhaps that in the speaking pyramid that lies in the bottom. And today, I have already explained you tense and time. So I have already explained you also. There are two English, basically American English and British English. That is basically, predominantly used all over the world. One is called British English, other is called American English. So my question is that, are you using British English or American English? So whenever it comes to vocabs, you can easily understand because I've already given a lot of vocabs like you can say this is apartment, and this is something called a flat. Apartment is American English and flat is something called British English. But the problem doesn't end here. Whenever we are trying to use some sentences, the structure format, whether the any variation, you can find it out, and that's the question for today. Okay. So here is the screen before you what exactly I'm going to take. Just check it out very clearly. And believe me, this is going to something's called sentence structure, something called British English and something called American English. And we are Indians. Where do we stand? Are you using American English or British English? When it comes to structure, it's not about vocabs. Vocabs, you have the luxury you can use. I've already given you. You can say this is something called soccer. You can say this is football. Both are correct, my friends. Both are correct. You can say this is apartment. If you ask me, sir, where are you staying at Bhubaneswar? I'm staying in an apartment. I can say I'm staying in a flat. Both are okay, no props. But whenever it comes to sentence structure, structure means how to make a sentence using tense and time. And there is a huge difference today I'm going to teach. And these things I have never taught before. And from today onwards, obviously some of the misconceptions about English will be changed, right? So this is something called British English. Union Jack is there. And this is American English, right? And somewhere in between, we are there. So where do we stand? We are Indians. Where do we stand? And that's the topic for today, my friend. Okay. So there's a huge difference whenever it comes to structuring a sentence as far as British English and American English is concerned. Here is my first difference. Check it out. British English versus American English. Sentence structure, present perfect and past simple. You know, present perfect. Present perfect is something that, it is a, it has already been a past sentence, but effect is there. But whenever I'm going to past simple, you can say no effect. So in British English, people use present perfect to speak about a past action that they consider relevant to the present. The same things I have already explained. Present perfect. ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ present perfect tense କହିଥିଲି ଏଇ sentence ଟା କହିଥିଲି like ଆମ ଗୋଟେ past action ପାଇଁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି but present ରେ ତାର relevance ଅଛି, effect ଅଛି. That is the called British English. But believe me, American never use like this. They use past simple. Quite crazy, right? Suppose you say like no, the present perfect can be used in the same way in American English, but people often use past simple when they consider the action is finished. Present perfect रे action टा finish ହେଇ ଯାଇଛି. I have taken tea. ଆପଣ କେବେ ପିଇଛନ୍ତି? 15 ମିନିଟ ଆଗରୁ ପିଇଥିଲେ. Past action, but effect is there, right? ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଥିଲି ଏ କଥା. That is something called British English. So the first difference is that between use of present perfect and past simple. Present perfect British English माने use करନ୍ତି, but most of the time the American English रे ସେମାନେ बेसी simple past use करते because they always consider like this is the past action. So why should we use present a perfect? Let's use past. Like just check it out. This is especially common with the adverb already, just and is.
Your
Yes.
voice is your voice is cracking, sir.
Is it happening like this to everybody?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
So
No,
when
sir, clear, sir.
No, sir, clear.
okay. So whenever you are finding any mistakes, like we're trying to unable to my voice is not audible. I request everybody, please log out and log in. That's the only formula. Because I am on a
Okay.
broadband. I am on a broadband. I don't think I have any problems. So since you are watching through mobile phones, so there may be some problem, I believe. Okay. So the first one
Okay,
is
sir.
called, there is something called present perfect and past simple. In British English, let me repeat it for you. In British English, people use present perfect to speak about a past action that they consider relevant to the present. Exactly the same things I have explained it. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଏଇ କଥା କହିଦେଇଛି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷଟେ ଆଗରୁ ସରି ଯାଇଛି ବଟ୍ ତା ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି ତ ସେଇଠି ଆପଣ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ପରଫେକ୍ଟ ୟୁଜ କରିବେ ତାମାନେ ଏଟା କୋ ଇଂଲିଶ ହେଲା ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଇଂଲିଶ ଚେକ୍ ଇଟ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ ମାଇ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ କଲ୍ଡ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଇଂଲିଶ and most American always use simple past, but people often use past simple when they consider the action is finished. It doesn't take out relevant clause. It's only simple. It's a past action, use simple past. Okay. This is especially common whenever we use adverb already, just and yet. Already use kariba, just use kariba, yet use kale American लोक माने simple past use कर दियंती. किंतु British कौन use करती? Present perfect. हमें कौन use करचे? Present perfect. So we are following British English whenever it comes to present perfect and past simple. Remember, this is the first difference. Okay, let me take out some examples. You can check it. This is something called the British English. Hey, he is not hungry. He has already had lunch. Have you done your homework yet? Yes, I have just finished it. But look at the American English. He is not hungry. He already had lunch. Past tense. Did you do your homework yesterday? Yes, I just finished it. Just check it out, the difference. So what you can understand, the American English, in America, people don't use present perfect for an action that is finished in the past but relevant in the present. They always use what they use. They use completely past, simple past. But British English, British people, what they use something called present perfect. So हमने इंडिया रे कौन व्यवहार करिए पे मुझे कहती present perfect. So one thing you are getting, what is that? That present perfect टा अपने use करिए कोठी. Now whenever the action is finished, but they consider relevant to the present. এই জিনিসটারে আমি যে simple মানে present perfect use করতেছি, that's a British English, man. This is not American English. The first difference. Let me cover up all the topics, then I'll come to your question. Okay. The second one is called, so this is done. Okay. Something called shall. Shall is a modal, right? So in British people, in British English, people often use shall I, to offer, do something, or shall we to make a suggestion. Shall we go to Cuttack tomorrow? It's a suggestion. Shall I go and close the door because mosquitoes are coming? So it's a kind of offer, something called, offer help. That is how the British people use shall. Shall I go there? Shall I do it for you? That means you are trying to offer some, help, or you are trying to, you are trying to help somebody. You are trying to offer a suggestion. So, like I can say, guys, it's possible. Shall I come tomorrow at 10, 8 o'clock? It's a suggestion. So, shall is used for suggestion in British English. Right? This is modal. I believe I have already taught you. Those who have not gone, that I'll give you something called modals. Okay. Again, we will study modals. Don't worry. So, shall is something that is very common in British English. But look at the things. It is very unusual for speakers of American English or to use shall. They do use shall. ଆପଣ ମତେ ସମୟ ସମୟ ପଚାରନ୍ତି Like sir, I shall go home and I will go home. ମୁଁ already ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଲି। ଆମେରିକାରେ people ମାନେ shall ବ୍ୟବହାର କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। almost 95 people, 95%. They don't use shall. The shall is predominantly a British word. British people use a lot of things. Sometimes you are using. And once the question is, I mean, all the chapter is over, all the chapters will be over, then I'll come to you with a question. Where do you stand? You have to give your individual opinion. Please don't log out. Okay. The second thing is, this is called shall. Shall is something called, it's a model. My friends, it's called a model. So model ଆମେ କଣ ପାଇଁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି? Why we are using shall? To to offer, to do something, or something called to make a suggestion. Shall I go there? Shall I bring? Suppose that I feel thirsty. I can say, suppose my my assistant is sitting. I can say, he can say, sir, shall I go and bring some coffee for you, some tea for you, like that. So it's a kind of offering a suggestion or help, right? So that is predominantly used in British English. But remember, shall is never used. Very unusual. Unusual means they don't use it, right? So something called, they normally use an alternative like should I, can I. So in place of shall I, they use should I or can I. Should I go there? Can I go there? Look at the difference, man. That's the difference between American structure and British structure. And then I'll come to you. Hey, you stand actually. You guys are always sandwiching. I always, this English is always funny for me. And today also you laugh at yourself. Why Sir is laughing? Because I am laughing. Because we don't have anything. We are following here and there all the things. And sometimes fail to understand actually what exactly you are doing. Right? That's why I feel to myself, it's not at you. Okay. So here what I can understand, in place of shall I, people use should I and can I in American English. But in British English, shall I go there? Shall I bring some tea for you? Shall I take this for you? But British people, American people say, should I do it for you? Should I open the door? Can I open the door? They mean the same things, my friends. They mean the same thing. So this is the second difference. Okay. Just let me give some examples here. Shall, okay. British English, it's hot here. Shall I open the door? I have already given you that. Shall I meet in the cafe at 5 p.m. at 5 o'clock, something like that? Shall we try that again? It's a kind of suggestion. Look, shall I meet means it's suggestion. Suppose ମୁଁ ମୁକ୍ତିକାନ୍ତ ସାର୍ କହୁଛି sir, ଆପଣ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ନା? ହଁ sir, ମୁଁ ଆସୁଛି. Shall I meet there? Shall I meet at Barmunda bus station? Like that. I'm just offering. I'm giving a suggestion. It's up to him to decide or not, accept or not, right? So shall I is something called shall I. Look, it is just like a suggestion. Shall I open the door? It's hot in here. Like it's very hot inside. Hot in here means very hot inside. Shall I open the door? Like that. Shall I open the window? So it's a kind of help. Like suppose I'm sweating and somebody sitting before me. You can say, sir, shall I go and open the door for you? It's so you are sweating right now. So it's a kind of help, offering to do something, right? It's offering to do something. But look at the American English. It's not in here. Can I open the door? I already informed you. Can or should? Do you want to meet in cafe at 5? Yeah, how should whatever, trying that again, like that. So what you can understand here? Shall is used predominantly in British English. In American English, the equivalent is should or can. Okay. Right now, this is my third difference. This is third difference. Got and gotten. You say I have got, I have gotten. Both things you are using. But remember, got is something called British. Gotten is something called American. This is the third difference, my friends. Look, in British English, the past participle of the verb get is got. Got it? I'm telling got it. Gotten it? No. Yes, sir, I have got it. I have gotten it. Both are correct, my friends. So whenever I say I have gotten it, I have got it. Both are correct. But one is American, other is British. The smallest one, got, is the British. And something called, that is something called gotten, is something called American. One is called British, other is called American. So let me read the things that I have written it here. In British English, the past participle of the verb get is got. In American English, people say gotten. Don't worry, let me complete it once more. Then I'll take your review. Whenever you have any doubt, you can ask me. So I request everybody, don't interrupt. Just listen. Take it carefully. We can, display the screen time and again. It doesn't matter. If it's take 100 times, we will go for that. I want to clear your concept. Today, you are going to learn something new. That's why I just come up with this all. Okay. Sometimes you are thinking, sir, this is correct, that is correct, that is correct, this is wrong. No, nothing is wrong, nothing is right. There is something called, you know, there is something called American English and British English. That's the things. And we poor Indian, yeah, we are very poor. Poor means not what you can say, like money wise. Poor means we are innocent guys. What to do here? One is British English, we are trying to remember everything. Sometimes American English, we are following everything. Spoken part, American. Written part, British. Spelling part, British. Pronunciation part, American. So we are always sandwiching. Okay, it's a kind of sandwich, right? So what you can understand here, in the British English, the past participle of verb is something called got. In American English, people say gotten. Note that got is commonly used in both American English to about a possession or necessity. Okay, have you got it? Have gotten is not correct here. I possession, possessiveness. I gotten coin. I have got. You can say like that. I have got a pen. I have got a ball like that. Possessiveness. Okay. Whenever it comes to possessiveness, that is basically something called, we can say, it is something called British English. Okay, this is something called British English. The next one, let me check out some things for you. It is something called British English. You could have got hot. He got very thin. She has got serious about her career. But have you got any money? We have got to go now. In American English, look, God becomes gotten. God becomes gotten. You could have gotten hot. He has gotten very thin. She has gotten. Look, he has got, and this is something called gotten. I already informed you. God is British English, and this is something called American. And very confusing. Every day, you guys are asking me. In any class, whenever I am trying to ask anything, they say, sir, shall or will? Sir, shall or will? Shall or will? Today, shall or will be clear. There will be no further questioning. Just check it out. In American English, we use modal verb, something called will, with all pronunciation shall refer to the simply future. In American, people use will. But in British English, the modal verb, something called shall, is used especially with the first person, pronounced and refer to future simple futurity. What is simple futurity? That I already. I'll play cricket, American English. I shall play cricket, British English. So what you can understand here, you understood that something called, in American English, we use will. I will go, I will play. But in British English, they use shall. Now choice is yours. Don't ask me. After that, please don't ask me, sir. I shall go there, correct hour, I will go there, correct hour. Don't ask me, please. You got, both are correct, I'm telling. One is called British English, other is called American English. Because will is very, very profoundly used in American English. And shall is something called used in British English. So this is the fourth difference, my friend. Got it? The next one, quite interesting. Have to. Have got to. Look, this is little bit interesting and some confusion is there also. Second, first, forget about this one. Just forget about this one. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ question ପଚାରୁଛି. Let me ask a question. ଆପଣ have to କୋଉଠି use କରିବେ? Have to ଆପଣ I have a ball, I have a pen. Have ଆପଣ use କରନ୍ତି when you have possessiveness. Am I right? I have two brothers. I have a big house in Bhubaneswar. I have two cars. I have a lappy. I have a coach. I have a pen. So have is used. First try to understand me. Don't look at here. You'll be confused. Don't look at the screen. I request everybody, please listen to me. मते आगो सुनंतु आपण. Then you can easily understand. मु कोन कहया पे चाहूँ. Have is used for possessiveness. Once you understand this one, it is going to help you out. This is little bit tricky for you. So सेतिपाई मु कहली मते आगो सुनंतु आपण. And then whenever this will be pretty easy for you. It will be cakewalk. I mean, charita portion. This is the fifth difference for today. So the first things I would like to inform you, my friends. Suppose I will use have. I have lot of time at my disposal. I have two brothers. I have a son and a daughter. I have two bikes. So you are using have for possessiveness. Possessiveness means ownership. Upon jahar owner, say that अनुसार अपन have to use करो. You know very well. Okay. I have two bikes. I have one a big car. I have a big house. Like that you use like this. So this is have is used for possessiveness, ownership. Have to is used whenever you want to do something by force or something force you to. देखो अपन एबे मोठो class notes. Let me tell you something in Oriya because a lot of new people are there. So my English Oriya कहूची, it is better for you. Suppose मुक्ति कंसार कर class करिवार अछि. तन बोल लागुची class करछन्ती. सेही समय तांकर जने colleague is a math teacher in a government high school. तो सेठी sir जने तांकर call करछन, somebody is calling. तो sir कोन करिवे? Sir has to log out. So sir will कहियो, मते कहिवे, sir, I can't continue the class. I can't attend the class right now, or I cannot continue the class. I have to go. Why? He doesn't want to go, but there is some situation. Sometimes you are sleeping and your mom is calling. Look, go to the market, bring some vegetables. Who want to go to market and bring all here? I don't want to. I want to sleep. But that time you can say, okay, fine. Yo, that time I can say, okay, fine. I have to go. Whenever you don't want to go, you don't want to do something, and somebody is forcing you. Upon भाबंतु आपण field रे अछंती, you are at in the playground or on the play, you are playing with your friends. सेस मरे आपण बाबांकर कॉल कला ते घर को आसी बोली आपण कोन करिवे? Ultimately when Hitler is calling you have to go, right? So what you have to do? That you have to tell your friends, I can't continue to play here. I have to go. My father is calling here. It's not a joke. If I'll not go, you know, something is true for me. So I have to obey my parents. I have to go. So what I want to say, have to is used whenever you want to do something by circumstances, by force. It's not your wish to do. Whenever it is wish to do, that is used must. Tomorrow is my exam. I must study. I have a class at 8:30 p.m. I must attend. That means it is your own wish. Upon bill jota count must love. That's the part of modals. But whenever you don't want to do anything, but somebody is forcing you by circumstances. परिस्थिति बाध्य करछि ओडिया रे मु कहि दोछि परिस्थिति बाध्य करछि आपण जीवा पय चाउना पर परिस्थिति बाध्य करछि आपण सेही कामटा करिया पय चाउना परिस्थिति बाध्य करछि दैट इज कॉल्ड हैव टू इफ यू वांट टू डू आपण पूरा दिल रे करछन्ती काम दैट इज कॉल्ड मस्ट सो हियर हैव टू हैव इज ए डिफरेंट यूज आपण जानि देले possessiveness ownership पे have to is used for a different purpose, right? So this is something called you have to use something called like when you do something by force. अपन इच्छा नहीं but अपन करिया पे बात. Believe me, have or have to is always used in American English. It's not a British English, my friends. देखो तो अपन केते बुलिले बहुत जगह बुलछन देबे. ओटा केते पढुछन्ती अपन जानि पढुछन्ती देबे, right? So something called the have equivalent is have got. माने अमेरिकन देखो तो have है कोन यूएस इंग्लिश यूके यूएस मींस यूनाइटेड स्टेट जोड़ा अमेरिका में कहउछन have equivalent ला have got have to equivalent ला have got to just check it out he has got blue eyes. Sir, blue eyes achi. That is possessiveness. We can say he has blue eyes. I have a shirt. I have a coat. No, that is not. That's called American English. The British English you have to say. I have got two bikes. I have got, not I have. I have got. That's the difference, man. That is called British English. Look, have you got to go there? Yes, I have to go there. But you have got to go there. I have got to call you. I have to got to. So have got to is something called you have to use have got, have got to. So this is the right hand side is called UK. You are never learning it. But it is the if you are going for anywhere. ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ଏବେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ whether you are learning British English or American ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ଆପଣ କହିବେ ସାର୍ ଦୁଇଟାକୁ ମିଶେଇକି କୁହ. So that's why I say we are a poor creatures. We don't have any freedom. ଆମେ କୋଉଟା ଚୁଜ କରିପାରିବାନି because ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଏମିତି ଲଦି ଦିଆ ଯାଇଛି syllabus ଇଣ୍ଡିଆରେ ଯେ ଆମେ ଆମ but when we are trying to speak anybody ଆପଣ freedom ଅଛି spoken English ରେ you are supposed to know everything. That's why I am giving you this. Whether it is American English or British English, you are supposed to know. You will say, I have to go there. I have got to go there. That's called British English. Nothing wrong. I have seen some of the exam, national level exam. They also ask this kind of question. ଆପଣ ଭାବିବେ ଏଟା ଭୁଲ ଅଛି ବୋଲି ନା this is not wrong man. This is something called British English. ମୁଁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ବାରମ୍ବାର British American why ମୁଁ କହୁଛି କାହିଁକି ନା ଆପଣ ଇଂଲିଶ ଟା ପୁରା ନିଜ ପାଖରୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉଟା କହୁଥିଲେ ଭୁଲ ବୋଲି ସେଟା ଭୁଲ ନୁହେଁ that may be American have to ଆପଣ ପଢିଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ କହୁଥିଲେ ହଁ I have to go I have two brothers but I have got two brothers ଆପଣ କହୁନଥିଲେ but that is British English ତ କେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ British English ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି କେତେବେଳେ American English ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି God knows we don't know that's why I am laughing to myself actually whenever I try to frame these things in the morning I thought of giving you something, just trying to just make something very interesting for you today. କାହିଁକି ନା ଆପଣ ମାନେ ତ ବହୁତ ଏବେ କିଛି କିଛି ଜଏନ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ କିଛି ସାର୍ ମାନେ ବି ମ୍ୟାଡମ ମାନେ already 1 or 2 3 months ମୋ ସହିତ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତ ଏଇ ଜିନିଷଟା ଆପଣ ଟିକେ କ୍ଲୋଜ କାଟରୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ and you can understand like how poor we are. We don't know what exactly we are studying. Sometimes you are learning American, sometimes you are learning British, sometimes you are learning this one, that one like. So that's why it is important to learn both the things. ମୁଁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ କହିଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ you have to learn both the things. So the first difference, this is something called where do we stand? We stand in the middle. All I can say, it's my view. I don't know. I'll ask your views. But let me paraphrase it for you so that I will take your questions after that. So the first thing is something called present perfect British English, past simple American English. Shall, British English. Shall I, British English. Should I, can I, American English. Got, British English. Gotten, American English. Shall, British English. Will, American English. Have or have to, American English. Have got or have got to, British English. I think it is pretty clear to you all. So right now, you can understand why I was laughing. Because we are poor creatures. ଆମେ ଭାବୁଛେ କଣ ଆମେ ଇଂଲିଶ ପଢୁଛେ what English we are studying ମୁଁ ଜାଣିପାରୁନି ଯୋଉମାନେ ଏଇ ସିଲାବସ ବନେଇଥିଲେ ଆମ ପାଇଁ why they are keeping this much of things. They could have been given a single syllabus to us. Okay, fine. We are Indians. We have to learn this one. No, we have to learn everything. This is one part of the story, man. The second part is that color, COLOR, American, COLOUR, British. But ଆମକୁ କୁହାଗଲା ନାଇଁ ଆପଣ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଟା ପଢିବେ ଆମେରିକାନ ଭୁଲ ହେଇଯିବ ଆପଣ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଟିଚର ଆପଣ ଲେଖିଦେବେ COLOR ସେ କହିବ ଗଧଟା କିଛି ଜାଣିନି ପିଲାଟା କିନ୍ତୁ maybe she doesn't know or he doesn't know that's American English. So something called American, something called British. Have to and something called have. It's completely American English. People in America say like this, I have two brothers. I have 2 cars, like that they say. But in British, I have got 2 cars. I have got 2 brothers. I I have got. I have to go there. I have got to go there. Take out the difference. And this is the, anyway, we have to enjoy. No, sometimes I feel like this, no, we are very, poor creatures. I don't know, like how the syllabus has been made for us, but still, believe me that as long as I'm with you, I'm going to bring out all the specific. ମୁଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ପୁରା କ୍ଲୋଜ କ୍ୱାର୍ଟର ରୁ ଆପଣ ପୁରା ଇଂଲିଶ ଟା ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଦେଖେଇଲି ଲାଇକ କେତେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ଯଦି ଆପଣ କହୁଛି I have eaten food, I have taken breakfast, that is something of British English. କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେରିକାନ ଲୋକ କହିବେ I took food, ଆପଣ କହିବେ ସାର୍ କଣ ସେ took food କହିଲା ଯଦି ଆପଣ ବେସିକାଲି those who are call center employees, those who are IT professional, they use more American English, not British English. And basically they used to say I have gotten there, I have gotten this one, I have gotten this one, because gotten is something American English. Those working for Facebook, Google, all the things, all basically the allied services. And if in British English, that all the difference. So this is something called American and British, right? So you can say where you stand, but if you'll ask me today, the way I stand, I can say we are standing in the middle, looking at what exactly I studied. Sometimes whenever I discover all the things, long back, मुझे थोड़ा इलाको discover कर ली, like all the things I try to, I have spoken to some. अपन भावों तुम कौन सी बही देखी उड़ाई करने, you feel like that, but you can search it. But I really try to get out. Actually, I try to speak some American guy, and I try to speak some British guy. I do not believe them. I try to watch some American look, those who are American teachers. There are so many YouTube channels. There's some British teachers. So I try to bring out all the things I, just did it matter long back. So I thought this is just like an eye opener. So nothing in English, nothing is wrong. You can see. Color, COLOUR, British English, COLOR, American English. Shocking. Neighbor, NEIGHBOUR, neighbor, mane padosi, BOUR. That is something called British English. NEIGHBOUR, American English. So what's wrong? What's right? I don't know. But anyway, we have another, problem. Indian education system. जोटा कि हमको पुणी handicap कर दूँ. केतले सी हमको American कहउछन, केतले British कहउछन. ताको पाखरे चाबिटा अछि, आपण तो किछ करि परिबेनी. But since you are out of the college and right now going to appear in exam, then at least you can go. For spoken English, this is the right thing to do. So this is something about the. ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯାହା ବି ମୁଁ ଆଜି କହିଲି, obviously it was something called very eye opener. तो आपण देखिबे आपण तो ଗୋଟେ British American British people सहित कथाता होछन ए डिफरेंस पाइबे American people सहित ए डिफरेंस पाइबे so I have given both the things किंतु किछि किछि जगह में American English व्यवहार करछन किछि रे British English हमें कहछे I have been to Puri for 2 times but they will tell I went to Puri 2 times हमें कहबा I have taken the time रे time zone रे तम तु morning 7 रे मु चा नेतिली मते जन 8 रे पछे what is I have taken tea or I have sipped tea. But British people, American people say, I took tea or I sipped tea. But whenever it comes to possessiveness, I can say, I have 2 brothers. But British people will tell, I have got 2 brothers. I have got 2 brothers. I have 2 brothers. What the difference? No difference, man. The meaning is same, the way of talking is different. And this is all about the class. So I need to ask very specifically upon log out करते हैं there are so many things to know कहीं ना अपन confused है नहीं है कहीं के जिनसे हम कहली अपन को because of the fact that यदि अपन American और British English न जानिबे अपन को काली इधर जने कहबा अपन confused है अपन कहबे सर भूल पढ़ी देले बोली कौन सारे मते एंती पढ़ी देले मु काली गोटे फॉरेनर से कथा रो सेमती व्यवहार काई करछि काली मु ता से कथा होतले एंती काई व्यवहार करछि से तो गोटे अमेरिका रही के से कोन भूल लिखिबो you feel like no, nothing is wrong, nothing is right. All are right, all are wrong. Depend upon the situation. Where exactly you are trying to teach your speech. Whether you are trying to be more, American or you are trying to be more British. That is why it's more important. अपन को where अपन कथा कहि छी अपन जो माने कॉल सेंटर जीवा पय चाहउछंती BPO रे काम करिया पे चाहते IT सेक्टर रे pick up use more American English. You are ordinary Indians, you want to learn spoken English like that, just use it. That's my view. I am not trying to impose on it, but let me tell you, this is the reality. এটা ରିଆଲିଟି ମୁଁ ଆଜି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିବାର ଉଦ୍ଦେଶ୍ୟ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା ଆପଣ କୋଉଟା ଭୁଲ କୋଉଟା ଠିକ ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଯିବେ ଆପଣ ଭାବିବେ ଯେ ଓ ଏଇଟା ସେମିତି ଲେଖିଥିବ ଆପଣ ଭାବିବେ ସାର୍ କିଛି ଆସୁନି ବୋଲି ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ନେଗେଟିଭ ଥଟ୍ ଟା ଆପଣଙ୍କ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ରେ ଆସିବ and that's the need of the hour ମାନେ ବହୁତ ଜାଗାରେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ ମାନେ ସ୍ପେଲିଂ ଗୁଡା ଭୁଲ ଥିବ ଆପଣ ଲେଖିବେ କଣ ଏଟା ୟୁଟେ ଛାଡି ଦେଇଛି ନା ସେ ଗୁଡା ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଲୋକ ଆମେରିକାନ ଲୋକ ଆଉ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଆପଣ ଭାବନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାଟେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାଟେ ଆମେରିକାରେ ପଢିକି ଆସିବ ସେ ଇଂଲିଶ ର କୋଉ କଣ ଲେଖିବ American English ଲେଖିବ ତ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ କିଛି ଜାଗାରେ ଠିକ ଥିବ କିଛି ଜାଗାରେ ଭୁଲ ଥିବ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟିଆ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ I have two brothers ଏଟା ହଉଛି American English I have got two brothers ଆପଣ କହିବେ ମୋର ବା ଅଛି I have got କଣ ମୁଁ କଣ ପାଇଲି no that's the problem one is called American other is called British so this is the something called an eye opener ଆପଣ ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଏଟା completely ଗୋଟେ eye opener ତ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି structure ଅନୁସାରେ ମୁଁ ଆଜି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖେଇଦେବି ଆଗରୁ ବି କହିଥିଲି ଯେ ଆମେରିକାନ ଆଉ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଭିତରେ ବହୁତ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ଅଛି so many difference are there and basically we are a sandwich product ଆପଣ କହିଛି already sandwich like you know this is something called Indian this is British and this is American this is called sandwich we are like this sometimes we are trying to face towards British English and this is called American English and we are the sandwich product sandwich ଆପଣ ଖାଇଛନ୍ତି ଜାଣିଥିବେ it's something the we Indians are like ନା ଆମେ କେତେବେଳେ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କେତେବେଳେ ଆମେରିକାନ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ଜାଣିପାରୁନା and ଆପଣ ଯଦି ପଚାରି ସାର୍ ଏଇଟା କାହିଁ ହେଲା that's something I am not that much of knowledge I can inform you but ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖେଇଦେବି ଏଇଆ ଏମିତି ଅଛି ବୋଲି now it's for you to decide what to do ବେଶୀ decision କିଛି ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ଆପଣ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଏଇ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷଟା ଅଛି so many things are there so that is the beauty of spoken English that's the beauty of English ତ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଇଂଲିଶ ଆମେ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛନ୍ତି and କିଛି ଆମେରିକାନ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଥାନ୍ତୁ କୋଉଟା ବ୍ରିଟିଶ କୋଉଟା ଆମେରିକାନ ବେସିକାଲି ମୁଁ ଯୋଉ ଚାରିଟା ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ଦେଲି ଏଇ ଅନୁସାରେ ଆମର ଟେନ୍ସ ଟା କିଛି କିଛି ଜାଗାରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଇଛି ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ପିପଲ ମାନେ ବେଶୀ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ପରଫେକ୍ଟ ୟୁଜ କରନ୍ତି ଯୋଉ କାମଟା ସରି ଯାଇଛି ବଟ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି ବଟ ଆମେରିକାନ ପିପଲ ମାନେ ସରି ତ ଯାଇଛି ଇଫେକ୍ଟ ତ ଛାଡିଲେ ସରି ଯାଇଛି ମାନେ ସିମ୍ପଲ ପାସ୍ so don't be confused you are talking to an American guy ତରନ୍ତ ଜଣେ ଆମେରିକାରେ ଆସିଛି ଆପଣ ତା ସହିତ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହେଲେ ସେଇ ଭଳିଆ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ପରେ ଆପଣ ମତେ ଗାଳି ଦେବେ ସେଠି ଯେ ପ୍ରସନ୍ନ ମାଷ୍ଟର କିଛି ଜାଣିନି ମତେ କହିବି so that's why I'm just trying to make it very clear there is something called American there is something called British gotten yeah both are correct one is British other is called American I have got two brothers I have two brothers both are correct one is called American other is called British so this is something called a eye opener session for you so always ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆଗକୁ ପଢିବା when you are trying to read a lot of things you are trying to learn a lot of things try to understand this is going to help you ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯୋଉ ଆଗରୁ ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି ଏଟା ଆମେରିକାନ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଆପଣ ସେତେଟା ବି ଜାଣିପାରୁନଥିଲେ but today you come to know oh my god so many difference are there at the basic level what is that basic level tense and time ଆପଣ ନିଜେ ଦେଖୁନ tense and time ରେ କେତେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହଉଛି forget about spelling ରେ difference ଅଛି pronunciation ରେ difference ଅଛି vocabs ରେ difference ଅଛି ମୁଁ କହିଛି already vocabs ମାନେ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉଟା କହୁଛନ୍ତି like no you can say this is apartment is something called an American English flat British English sucker American English football British English like that there are hundreds of examples of it ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ କରିକି ଦେଖେଇବି so this is something called British and American English so structure wise ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ ଟିକେ ଭୁଲ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ ଯେ ଗୋଟେ structure ଟେ ଅଛି ଆଉ ଏଟା ଆପଣ ଭୁଲ ବି ଭାବିବେ maybe American it's American English it's British English like that because ଆପଣ କିଛି American author କୁ follow କରିବେ obviously you are going to get a lot of American flavor you are trying to follow some British author obviously you are with me I always encourage you to improve your knowledge to enhance your knowledge so ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ ନୂଆ ଜିନିଷ କିଛି ପଢିବେ so obviously you are trying to find a lot of cross sectional things ତ ଆପଣ ଭାବିଥାନ୍ତୁ ଯେ actually ଆମେ ଦି ପ୍ରକାର ଇଂଲିଶ କୁ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛନ୍ତି at a time କିଛି କିଛି ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ ଆମେରିକାନ ଇଂଲିଶ କୁ ଫଲୋ କରନ୍ତି ଆମେରିକାନ ଇଂଲିଶ କୁ ଆଉ କିଛି ଜାଗାରେ ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ଇଂଲିଶ କୁ ଫଲୋ କରନ୍ତି so we are not ଆମେ ଆପଣ କହିପାରିବେନି that I want to only follow British English no impossible କେମିତି ହବ କହୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଆପଣ I have ଆରେ କଣ American English So Guru, I have gone there. My father has gone to market. American English, the British English. I have got two brothers. American English. तो केतला आपण American English व्यवहार करछनी केतला British English व्यवहार आपण गोटे English व्यवहार करी हम सिलेबस टाइम ते कराई जे इंडिया रे जोडा आपण बाध्य भाबे डेटा को फॉलो करिया. So that's why do follow the both and try to find out the difference. Next time जेतला आपण करे एवना किछि प्रॉब्लम्स आछिवो आपण निजे निजे बुझी ओ okay. So this is something called an ideal system for your ability.